555 days towards level 9000, day 91. I've recently started reading The Tao of Pooh, which is essentially related to principles of Taoism, Taoism being essentially the idea of living without any preconceived notions of life. Now, why is it the Tao of Pooh from the Winnie the Pooh and not any other character? Well, the back of the book will state as well. It says, while Eeyore frets, and Piglet hesitates, and Rabbit calculates, and Owl pontificates, Pooh just is. So the teaching here is that Pooh's way of looking at things is just going with all the flow without any of his any preconceived notions. And I read you from the foreword a quote, piece of an actual Winnie the Pooh book. When you wake up in the morning, Pooh, said Piglet at last, what's the first thing you say to yourself? What's for breakfast? Said Pooh. What do you say, Piglet? I say, I wonder what's going to happen exciting today, said Piglet. Pooh nodded thoughtfully. It's the same thing, he said. And the book continues with a conversation with the author and a person. He goes, well, what's that? Wisdom from a Western Taoist, I said. It sounds like something from Winnie the Pooh, he said. It is, I said. That's not about Taoism, he said. Oh, yes, it is, I said. No, it's not, he said. What do you think it's about? I said. It's about this dumpy little bear that wanders around asking silly questions, making up songs, and going through all kinds of adventures without ever accumulating any amount of intellectual knowledge or losing his simple-minded sort of happiness. That's what it's about, he said. Same thing, I said. And the author goes on a little bit later to talk about Taoist principles related to Pooh. But, he writes, through working in harmony with life's circumstances, Taoist understanding changes what others may perceive as negative into something positive. From the Taoist point of view, sourness and bitterness come from the interfering and unappreciative mind. Life itself, when understood and utilized for what it is sweet. These principles have been in Winnie the Pooh, and they've been there. And I'm sure the book goes on and on, and I can't wait to see what else the author has to say. But this perspective of how Winnie the Pooh sees life has been in the Winnie the Pooh books. I read these when I was a little boy. In fact, my mom read them to me first. And I was old enough to read them myself. I read them. And it wasn't until now, at 36 years old, that I realized that Winnie the Pooh has some excellent principles that I was learning as but a boy. And I'd like to think that, along with The Little Prince, helped to set a good foundation for myself. So it's nice to revisit Pooh. It's been quite a long time. So, Taoist principles of going with life? Yeah. I mean, we're not just supposed to sit back and say, take it all, whatever happens to me. But while we're doing our life and while we're taking the actions we need, we have to understand that, yeah, things are going to happen. So, what kind of perspective you put in it? And can you flow with it? And then go to whatever comes next. We do our best, I suppose. And I think that's key, doing our best. And with that, I will see you tomorrow.